Okay, welcome back to the deep dive.
Great to be diving in again.
Right. So today we're really going to try and cut through some of the noise, especially when you're prepping for something big like the ATPLs.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just so much information coming at you.
Exactly. So we're zeroing in on a really, really critical area for any aspiring pilot. It's all about individual differences, how we interact in teams.
And specifically looking at it through that crew resource management, the CRM lens.
Crew resource management, yeah. That feeling, though, when you're studying for the ATPLs, it's just like this information avalanche, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It can feel overwhelming.
So our mission today, our goal, is to kind of distill those, really dense concepts, make them clear.
Yeah, turn them into actionable insights, things you can actually use.
Exactly. Stuff that'll obviously help you nail those exam questions, but maybe more importantly, give you that solid foundation for your whole career.
That's the key, isn't it? Because this stuff, these kind of abstract psychological ideas, they have such direct practical consequences for safety and efficiency right there in the cockpit. We'll be digging into how personality shapes those interactions, how groups make decisions, sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much.
Right.
And also the dynamics of leadership, authority. It's all drawn directly from the source material you're working with.
Which really brings up that big question.
Yeah, how do we make sure that the human element with all its quirks and complexities actually becomes a strength?
Instead of a vulnerability.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, the plan is clarify the core ideas on personality and CRM, hammer home those key takeaways, and make sure you walk away feeling confident, ready for the exams, and ready to actually apply this stuff.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning, the individual. Because before we can even talk about team dynamics, CRM, all that, we need to get our heads around the building blocks, right? And that means personality. So what exactly is personality when we're talking about it in this aviation context?
Right. Well, in this context, personality really boils down to those stable behavioral characteristics that we associate with a specific individual. It's kind of an umbrella term,
Right.
It covers things like someone's motives, their underlying attitudes, the beliefs they hold, and just their typical ways of seeing the world and behaving.
So like a unique psychological fingerprint, almost.
It's a great way to put it, yeah, a blueprint or a fingerprint.
Yeah.
And for pilots, understanding this isn't just some academic exercise, it's incredibly practical.
How so?
Because your personality profoundly shapes how you relate to others, how you interact. Especially in that very close-knit, high-pressure environment of the cockpit, it affects communication, decision-making, everything.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And talking about what makes us tick inevitably brings up that classic debate. Nature versus nurture, how much is baked in and how much is, learned or developed?
Oh, yes, the age-old question. And like most things, the answer seems to be, well, a bit of both, really.
Yep.
Initially, a lot of our core personality traits are thought to be pretty innate, maybe inherited, genetically determined, and they get established quite early in life.
So deep-seated stuff.
Exactly. Deep-seated, pretty resistant to major change. But, and this is really important, but personality isn't set in stone. It's not fixed.
Right.
It can be influenced. It develops. It can even be subtly changed by outside factors throughout our lives.
Right.
Think of it maybe like genetics defines a broad potential range for certain traits.
Like a predisposition.
Precisely. Maybe you're naturally inclined towards introversion, or maybe you react quickly.
Yeah.
But then nurture your environment, your upbringing, education, life experiences. That's what pushes you around within that potential range.
So it shapes how those predispositions actually manifest.
Exactly. Heredity, upbringing, life experience, they're all constantly interacting, constantly contributing to who you are right now.
That's interesting, the idea that we're sort of always a work in progress. Which brings us to this idea of self-concept. How does that fit in?
Self-concept is fascinating. It starts really early. A child first becomes aware of themselves as like a separate person because other people treat them that way.
So respond to them as an individual.
Right. Then, as that idea of self gets stronger, the person starts seeing themselves as an object.
All right. Many thanks for listening to this free part of the ATPL Theory podcast. If you want to continue learning and access the full comprehensive guide, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/ATPLtheory or my Hero at herohero.co/ATPL. That is patreon.com/ATPLtheory or herohero.co/ATPL. Wishing you all the best.